There she is again, my first ray of sun. Here when I wake up, and with me till my day is done. Don't leave, just lay still. If you move the covers, I'll get cold. I'd rather lay by your side and let the rest of the world grow old. Here we are again, holding hands in the rain. She shines right on through it and takes away all my pain. Don't leave, I need you. I'm done doing what we're told. I'd rather lay by your side and let the rest of the world grow old. Those seasons may change and your night turn to day. I'll stay by your side till the sun fades away. Don't think of daydreams. I don't want my heart race so. I'd rather lay by your side and let the rest of the world grow.
Thank you to Jake Godsil for that last song, Grow Old, giving us that 21st century sound we've been looking for. You're tuning into 96.9 APU FM, the Looney Bin. Unfortunately, during our intro, Leo decided to gamble for a plug. Now, I know in my last video I was talking about not selling out, but there's one thing we don't do around here, and that's welch on bets. Even if I think he used the magnetic dice, that's neither here nor there. Though, whatever. The Looney Bin is brought to you by Leo's course, Mirror Force. Mirror Force. Force your way to the top. This course is teaching other people how to make courses to sell to other people. Our success is unprecedented. We put, I think it's like fraudulent to, whatever. We posted 400,000 in profit this quarter, and if you're looking to fuck over your fellow man by any means necessary, you know who to call. 96.9 APU FM Radio, the Looney Bin. Just ask for Leo. Note, this is a paid advertisement. Next up, we're back. Double or nothing. I like the way this guy rolls. What the fuck? Yeah, you like how I roll, whatever. Our next sponsor is also from Leo. We now have a hair loss treatment comboed with an erectile dysfunction medication. We call it GRR. For only $39.99 a month, this pill, just taken once a day, will grow your hair back and get that sex drive back in action. Don't think you need it? Fun fact, hair loss medication kills your dick. So skip the second shopping cart and come get groovy with GRR. GRR, the first and last indicator that it's beyond over for you. Note, this is a paid advertisement. Now, with that out of the way, back to our strongly willed, mentally ill programming. I was trying to determine, what game would be good to play, because if I'm only doing balloons, could get a little stale. Not for me, obviously, but maybe for the people watching. I was trying to think up other games. Adventure Capitalist I thought might be fun, just because, progression simulators, I think, highlight a very interesting aspect of the human experience. But we need to get some music going. So, next up, we got some Midnight Playtime. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So, I was gonna try to. I always do this. I was gonna try to make this be like a silhouette and have it be like a Who's That Pokemon, but that's way too much work, and I just like how it looks now anyway. This thing down here is a Gobblegum. If you play Black Ops Zombies and don't know what a Gobblegum is, I would recommend playing Black Ops 3 or 4 even. I think 4's aged pretty well. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into my zombies opinions, because we gotta get started. Well, what are we gonna talk about today? I don't even know. I figured all I did was talk about HTML concepts last time in a note format, and I have some CSS notes I want to go over, but I didn't want to do some practice in integration with, all this extra. Like, I don't want to build a website and have everything be aligned to the left. It's all black and white, and like we're not messing with anything. So we're gonna take what we learned from HTML and apply what we're learning in CSS. Kind of jump back and forth. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts here. So bear with me as we do this. I don't expect many people to watch this anyway. So, well, obviously all of Leo's goons are gonna be watching, and hopefully some of you buy the course. Might be fun. But we got balloons. I think we can, we can hop over here for a second. We can open our Thrive. Who uses Thrive? We have computer basics to go over in CSS first. Again, before we get into anything, I wanted to also show this. That's right. If you did tune in to the last stream, you may have heard that I use Code Lobster. That is not true anymore. I found VS Code, and it was actually like a million times simpler and more useful than I thought it would be. I just saw everyone that was talking about VS Code like didn't have access to Visual Studio or something, and turns out I'm still learning too. And so, we got some random stuff here. I'm not very right. I could zoom it out, right? I'm sure right here is fine for most of you. I'm just gonna leave it right there so everyone can kind of see. But you'll see we have some metadata up here, like our HTML boilerplate. We're linking our style sheet, which is right here. I just have some random kind of stuff to give it a little personality. And all we have our head with our, all this stuff. But our body, all we have is a placeholder title. I added right, jaded. We can make this just placeholder title. It's about time I downloaded VS Code. Holy, your mom says hi, Jinx. And if we jump over to the website, why, that's exactly what's listed right there. Very good. I don't fully, oh, look at that, I keep doing that. I don't expect people to make Facebook tomorrow or anything like that. In fact, I would probably advise against it. But you can kind of start to see how we can use CSS along with the frame of HTML to kind of make it our own, kind of make it whatever we want it to be. All I have here, I'll jump back. All I have for styles is I have a font family of Georgia with a fallback of Times New Roman, a fallback of Times, and finally serif. All this means is that if browsers don't have Georgia, it'll try to display Times New Roman. If it can't find that, it'll try to display Times. And if it can't do that, it'll display serif. I know websites you're supposed to use sans serif. I don't really care. We have font size set to 20 pixels. Whatever. Background color dark slate gray. It's pretty cool. I have an extension that shows the color, but I'm colorblind, so it's not as helpful as you might think, but it is helpful. Where was it cold? Oh. What else could... Oh, I see. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I keep tabbing, and I keep making all the suit symbols, which I didn't know you could do, which is more useful. I mean, it's not super useful, but it is cool. Yeah, we just have everything aligned to the center. You'll see if I, right, this is why I added Jaded to it, right? If I add Jaded, and then I run this and go live, hold on. This is supposed to be over here. Okay. Think we should be good. And if we go right, and I added a diamond. See, I'm gonna keep doing that, and it's okay. I just gotta mess with my hotkeys. But placeholder title Jaded. You can see how it changed. It's still centered. We're gonna make something. I kind of have an idea of what to make, but the more I think about it, the more CSS we're gonna have to go over to get there. So we're just gonna kind of mess around and have fun. I'm also gonna turn the music down a little bit to right about there. Actually, it seems fine right there. There's no words or anything. So before we start going on balloons, I know, sad. I thought it'd be good. Oh, look, we got a smiley face. I'd keep doing this stuff. We're gonna go over computer basics. It's not hard. It's not really anything to do with CSS. But it is important if you've never heard of this stuff. Again, I'll try to make timestamps and everything. I'm probably just gonna run through the beginner challenge 5 to 40 and just go over this computer's basic stuff really quickly. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. So let's just hop in and get going. Yeah, 13 minutes seems to be my intro sticking point. Even with Leo's ads. God, no. You don't have time. Just gonna get started. Doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go over computer basics before we start jumping back and forth with VS Code, testing the website, all that fun stuff, right? So, computer basics. Yeah, everybody, we're on CSS. We're not even talking about CSS. Understanding computer and internet developer tooling basics. Motherboard. Holds all the memory, connectors, and hard drives that are needed to run the computer. It serves as the main circuit board for the computer. This should be pretty straightforward. A lot of people, I feel like, who don't know anything about a computer can probably understand what a motherboard is. I'm not trying to be patronizing. I just don't want to over-explain it. Central Processing Unit, CPU process. Sorry. I want to preface again, and I probably should before every single one of these. These are not my notes. These are freecodecamp.org's notes. I would highly recommend checking out freecodecamp.org, perhaps donating to them to keep people being able to code for free as much as possible. I think it's like every $5 you donate is 250 hours a month of free coding for someone. I don't know how they determine that, but it sounds about right. So, again, go check them out. Don't give me any credit for these notes. I will just try to make it as straightforward for someone who maybe... Whatever. Thank you, freecodecamp.org. We're going to go over Central Processing Unit, the CPU, a processor that is responsible for executing instructions and performing calculations. Random Access Memory, RAM, a temporary storage location for the computer's CPU. Hard Disk Drive, HDD, a permanent storage location that is used to store data even when the computer is turned off. Solid State Drive, SSD, non-volatile flash memory and can be used in place of a hard drive. Thought I wouldn't catch that, Camo. Thought I wouldn't catch it, did ya? Yeah, it was way too much time. SSD, non-volatile flash memory that can be used in place of a hard drive. SSD is very fast. If you want to run games, you gotta have a solid state drive to run them as fast as possible, right? Faster load times, all that kind of stuff. Also, disk writes, anything like that. Power supply unit, PSU, responsible for converting the electricity from the wall outlet into a form that the computer can use. I actually have a few stock picks that no one wants to hear about in regards to power supply units. You don't want to hear about those. Just keep taking advice from this guy. Graphics processing unit, GPU, responsible for rendering visuals on the computer screen. Different types of internet service providers, or ISPs. An internet service provider, ISP, is a company that provides access to the internet. There are different types of ISPs, including dial-up, DSL, cable, fiber optic, and satellite. Also, fuck Charter Spectrum. Safe ways to sign into your computer. Examples of safe ways to sign into your computer include using a strong password, enabling two-factor authentication, and using a password manager. A password manager? Really? Integrated Development Environment, IDE. An IDE is a tool that helps developers write, test, and debug code in an efficient manner. Code Editor, a tool that developers use to write and debug code. Git, a popular version control system that allows developers to track changes in their code and collaborate with others. The best way to describe Git, if you ever played like Fallout or Elder Scrolls, where, right, like RPG with a save file, it's really nice to have a save file to go back to if you accidentally become a vampire in Oblivion. But if you do what I did and you overwrite a good save, it just kind of ruins... can kind of ruin your save file there and kind of ruin your whole experience, and you might give up on that save file. So imagine if that was just your project you were working on, and you could just have different save states for your project. That's why Git's so helpful. It also helps track when you add stuff and stuff like that. I will not be going into Git because that would be an entire 3-hour stream. Cloud-based hosting services for repositories. A repository is a storage location for project files and version history. Popular cloud-based hosting services for repositories include GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket. Hey, we did the challenge. Oh, of course. No spot pits, chimps. That's lame. I don't mean to flex all my black borders, but like I don't have any of the ones I care about back here. What would be good? What would be good? Whatever. We'll start running through this. We're just gonna make a sea of dart monkeys. Oh man, we have so much money. Yeah. Good enough for me. Package managers. Package managers. Tools that help developers simplify the process of adding, updating, and removing libraries and project dependencies. Examples include NPM, pip, and Maven. I've heard of pip and Maven. I haven't heard of NPM. Testing libraries and frameworks. Testing is done in software to ensure that the code works as expected. Examples of testing libraries and frameworks include Jest, PHP Unit, and JUnit. Working with files, file systems, and media formats. Best practices for naming files. You will want to name your files in a way that is easy to understand and maintain. For example, aboutus.html is much more descriptive than page1.html, especially for writing code later. And collaborating. Root directory, top-level directory in a file system. Directory is another name for a folder. Markdown. A markup language commonly used for documentation and README files. A README file is a file that contains information about a project, such as how to install it and use it. So it's just kind of the instructions. I had a scoreboard app on my phone that I looked at a couple days ago, and it had a README on it that was literally like 11 words. That was like tap to add, hold to subtract, and then like something to like reset or something, and like that was it. That's all it has to be sometimes. Index.html represents the default page that is displayed when a user visits a website. It's kind of like the access point, right? Create, move, and delete files and folders using Explorer Finder. Explorer is the file manager in Windows, and Finder is the file manager in Mac OS. You can Mac OS. I'll keep my opinions to myself. You can use these tools to create, move, and delete files and folders. Searching for files and folders. You can use the search functionality in Explorer or Finder to find files and folders on your computer. HTML, CSS, and JS file types. .html file extension is used for HTML, .css for CSS files, and .js for JavaScript files. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Common image and graphic formats. JPEG and PNG are common image file formats. GIF is another common image file format that supports animation. SVG is a file format for vector graphics. I know we're kind of retouching on some stuff from before. I apologize. Common audio and video formats. The MP3 format is commonly used for audio files. The MP4 format is commonly used for video files. The MOV format was developed by Apple, and it is commonly used for video files. I'm just trying to think ahead. Even though it's primary, I hate this map. It does look cool though. Common font formats. The TTF format is commonly used for true type fonts. The WAF format is commonly used for web fonts. The successor to WAF is WAF2, which provides better compression. Zip, a file format that is used to compress files and folders. I know I'm kind of blazing through stuff right now, but again, this is like not very important relatively, unless you don't know it. Browsing the web effectively. How many of you know about the famous tree octopus? What is a web browser? A software application that allows users to access and view websites on the internet. What is a search engine? A tool that allows users to search for information on the internet. Examples include Google, Bing, and Yahoo. Is this engine still called Bing? Or is it just like Edge? Whatever, I don't know. Common web browsers. A few examples of common web browsers include Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and Microsoft Edge. I wouldn't recommend any of these three. I would probably recommend Bravo. If you have none of these installed and you're looking to install one, I would recommend Bravo. That's just my opinion. Just for privacy. Not, privacy's kind of a lie we all tell ourselves at this point, right? Common search strategies. You can use site followed by the URL of a website to search for content on that website. You can use file type : followed by a file extension to search for files of that type. You can prefix a search term with a minus sign to include results containing that term. You can prefix a search term with a plus sign to include results containing that term. And wouldn't you know it, that was computer basics. Good timing. Now I think it might behoove us to get a little long hair blues going, just while we get ready to, make our website while we do this whole thing. Yeah, why not? We can hop over here. What's the Odyssey looking like? What the heck? That's just what even is that? Alright, deflation. Again, just set it, forget it. Oh, Benjamin, what a great pick. No. Oh, I'll just do my usual stupid double discount, min-max, ISAB village. I honestly feel skeevy whenever I drop down these discount villages. Like I shouldn't be allowed to.
I've got no one else to be. I won't change because you say my hair is
sell. And then we can actually get a jungle drums on these guys. I have so much, I don't even know what to do with all this money. Like I have an extra $2,000. This is why these villages feel crazy sometimes. Little Spike Lee action. Alright. Thank you for the long hair blues. Back to some midnight playtime. Thanks for tuning in to 96.9 APU, the Looney Bin. CSS Basics. What is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It's a markup language used to apply styles to HTML elements. CSS is used for colors, backgrounds, images, layouts, and more. The basic anatomy of a CSS rule. A CSS rule is made up of two main parts, a selector and a declaration block. A selector is a pattern used in CSS to identify and target specific HTML elements for styling. A declaration block applies a set of styles for a given selector or selectors. Here we have the general syntax of a CSS rule. So we have a selector followed by curly braces, and inside that we have properties with a colon and then a value, right? Just like we saw earlier with the font and everything. Very simple. The meta name viewport element. This meta element gives the browser instructions on how to control the page's dimensions and scaling on different devices, particularly on mobile phones and tablets. Ever since mobile phones and tablets, you gotta think of those guys first, kinda. They say you should make the website for a phone or tablet first, and then add features as it grows bigger. That's probably best practice. Default browser styles. Each HTML element will have default browser styles applied to them. This usually includes items like default margins and paddings. Inline, internal, and external CSS. Inline CSS. These styles are written directly within an HTML element using the style attribute. Most of the time, you will not be using inline CSS due to the separation of concerns. Here's an example of inline CSS. So within our HTML page, we have a P, our paragraph, that has the content of "this is a red paragraph." And inside that, we style it using inline CSS of style equals, and then in parentheses, sorry, we're assigning color red to the style. So it will turn it to a red paragraph. And color is for the color of the text. Background color would be the background color of the paragraph. Internal CSS. These styles are written within the style tags inside the head section of an HTML document. This can be useful for creating short code examples, but usually you will not be using internal CSS. External CSS. These styles are written in a separate CSS file and linked to the HTML document using the link element in the head section. For most projects, you will use an external CSS file over internal or inline CSS, much like you saw earlier. Here we go. Working with the width and height properties. Width property. This property specifies the width of an element. If you do not specify a width, then the default is set to auto. This means the element will take up the full width of its parent container. Min width property. This property specifies the minimum width for an element. Max width property. Ayo. This property specifies the maximum width for an element. Height property. This specifies the height of an element. Similarly, the height is auto by default, which means it will adjust to the content inside. Min height and max height, it's the exact same thing. Yeah, let's go over a little more before we jump over. Different types of CSS combinators. The descendant combinator. This combinator is used to target elements that are descendants of a specified parent element. And before we get into that, let's just get the medium. Is it advanced? Oh. Who seems fun? Let's go with Oben. I feel like I never use Oben anymore, and Oben is sick. Oben is free, and you don't have to use any monkey money in the beginning. He's awesome. You can pop leads. He makes druids stronger. Lots of good stuff. Is there any of this water that's accessible? This is such a... Oh, wait. Oh. This is a lot easier than I thought. Just wait till I get my mermonkeys down. Wait, did I name my mermonkey? This is actually important. I don't know if I named my mermonkey. That'd be really sad. I think it's Merman. Oh, I can't put anything right there? Oh, but right here is fine? Oh. I'm just gonna put him down real quick. It is Merman. Okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, it's medium. What am I doing? So the descendant combinator. This combinator is used to target elements that are descendants of a specified parent element. The following will target all li items from inside ul elements. Unordered list elements. Very good. So we have our unordered list with 3 list items. And then here's our descendant combinator. We have our selector, which is unordered list space li, which is going to target all list elements inside the unordered list. And it's going to make their background color yellow. That's awesome. That's... holy crap, my mind is racing with all the possibilities. Child combinator, which is the greater than sign. This combinator is used to select elements that are direct children of a specified parent element. The following example will target all P elements that are direct children of the container class. So if we have a div class of container, and then we have a paragraph, and then we have a different div that doesn't have a class of container, and we have another paragraph. Note that this paragraph is not a direct descendant of this div, which is a container class div. This div is just inside this other one, and therefore this paragraph is a direct descendant of this div. You see? So for when you reference a class, you want to put a dot in front of the name of the class. That's how you would use a selector for a class. Holy... I know I'm not even using the druids. Oben is really sick though. So we have our dot container class, and then we're using the descendant combinator on P elements. So every paragraph that's a direct descendant of the container class is going to have a background color of black and a text color of white. Good job. Next, sibling combinator, the plus sign. This combinator selects an element that immediately follows a specified sibling element. So you can think of parents, children, siblings, right? The following example will select the paragraph element that immediately follows the H2 element. For example, we have a H2 heading of I am a subheading, and a paragraph. This paragraph element will get a red background, right? It'd be the next sibling. Right. So H2 plus P, you're going to go to the first paragraph after your heading 2 element, and you're going to set its background color to red. Not sure why you would do that, but you can. I'm just kidding. There's lots of useful stuff. Especially for like more... just different stylings, if you want to do that. Subsequent sibling combinator, which is the tilde, I believe it's called, like the approximate, like the thing that goes over the N in Mignana. Je parle français. No hablo español. I don't even know. Yeah. The following example will style only the second paragraph element because it is this combinator selects all siblings of a specified element that come after it. The following example will style only the second paragraph element because it is the only one that a sibling of the UL element that is a sibling of the UL element and shares the same parent. Right. So we have a div class of container, we have a paragraph, an unordered list, and then another paragraph, and then a paragraph outside of the div. And so this is going to... I got distracted. My fault, everybody. But can you blame me? Yeah, so subsequent sibling combinator, it's fairly straightforward. It's the all siblings of a specified element that come after it. So, right, okay, I see. So it's only targeting the paragraph after the unordered list. See, it even tripped me up. Look at that. So ul tilde p is just going to target paragraphs that come, everything that comes after it. So it's not going to be like the next sibling. It's going to be all subsequent siblings. So we just went through all that. I don't think I did enough of a good job with active recall in the last stream. So we're going to do a little bit of that right now. I'm going to hop over to Balloons. And let's talk about this. If you want to style an element, if you want to style all paragraphs that are inside all divs, how would you go about doing that? Right? If you want to style every paragraph that's inside any div within your HTML page, what would your selector be? It would be div space p, and then you do your selector with all your properties and values and everything. If you wanted to, for instance, if you wanted to target every list element that comes after, or sorry, no, it's a bad example. Oh yeah. If you wanted to target, let's say in all your unordered lists, the very first thing in all your unordered lists is super important. You really want to highlight anything that's the first thing in an unordered list. It's super important. It's like the main whatever, and you want it to stand out. How would you go about only targeting the first element, right? If you only wanted to target the first list element, how would you do that? Okay, I totally miss. See, this is why I'm really glad that this came up first, because I don't think I have a very solid understanding of the different descendant combinators. So that was a horrible question. That was an absolutely terrible question I just asked just now. I don't know why I did that. Please? Big Al? All right. So so let's say let's say you wanted to target all siblings of a specified element that come after it. What combinator would you use? Would you use the next sibling combinator? Would you use the child combinator? Would you use the subsequent sibling combinator? Would you just use the descendant combinator? I'm doing an awful job of this, so hopefully you've been laughing along at me. We're gonna just hop back here. Please don't pop up like that. Okay. So here we have our regular descendant combinator, so everyone's aware. This is the child combinator, used to select elements that are direct children of a specified parent element. They're direct children. Next sibling combinator, the plus sign, selects an element that immediately follows a specified sibling. Right, H2 plus P, the paragraph after H2. The next sibling. I messed up trying to do the active recall stuff. That was my bad. Subsequent sibling combinator is our tilde. It selects all siblings of a specified element that come after it. So ULP. Only the paragraph that comes after the unordered list will be styled. Yes, I'm actually glad they wrote it like that. Okay, I didn't mean to get stun locked on something like that. So now we'll talk about inline block and inline block level elements. We're gonna try to get through this first CSS thing before we go through and start having some fun. I'm also not sure. I want to try to keep the balloons going while we're doing that, but if we're hopping back and forth really quickly, I'm gonna have to think of something. But it'll be fine. We'll figure it out as we go. It's balloons. Who cares if I lose, right? Oh, I went Oben again. I don't care. Oben's sick. I don't use Oben enough. Oh, look at that. We're just going to do the exact same thing, basically. Inline block and inline block level elements. Leo, you've been pretty quiet. Have you just taken... Guys, good news. Mirror Force just sold another $100,000 in corset. Oh my god. Dude, we're... Why are we even doing this? We should just be retiring at this point. Just selling everyone courses on how to sell courses. Inline level elements. I'm just going to turn the music down a little bit because it's a little loud. Cool. Inline elements only take up as much width as they need and do not start on a new line. These elements flow within the content, allowing text and other inline elements to appear alongside them. Common inline elements are span, anchor, and IMG elements. Block level elements. Block level elements take up the full width available to them by default, stretching across the width of their container. Some common block level elements are div, paragraph, and section elements. Right, block level. They kind of stack, if you want to like block stack, right? Inline block level elements. You can set an element to inline block by using the display property. These elements behave like inline elements, but can have a width and height set like block level elements. Man, it'd be really nice if I just, if I didn't do a live stream and if I could restart this stuff. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to give it to you raw. This is what it's like trying to learn how to teach this shit. It's not freaking, I don't know, making candles. I don't know. I bet making candles is actually pretty difficult. Margin and padding. Margin property. This property is used to apply space outside the element between the element's border and the surrounding elements. Padding. This property is used to apply space inside the element between the content and its border. I don't think I have it next to me. Again, whiteboards are in use. But there's a really good diagram of how to look at it. You have your content, and then the padding is what's between your content and the border of the container, and then the margin is the space between the border and other elements. So you have your padding, and then you have your margin. Margin shorthand. The margin property can be set using. What's happening? Oh, shoot. Oh, I got a sniper. Why not? Oh wait, Oben can pop leads. What am I do? Oh, but we do whatever. So fixate. It's an advanced map. What can I say? We're not doing spa pits. Like it's not like last time. The margin property can be set using the shorthand syntax, which allows you to set the margin for all four sides of an element at once. The values are applied in the order top, right, bottom, left. Once again, they're set in the order top, right, bottom, left. But you can also say like margin top, margin right, margin bottom if you really want to be specific. But if you don't want to write like margin top, margin right, margin bottom. You can like you use shorthand for it. Padding shorthand. The padding property can also be set using the shorthand syntax, which allows you to set the padding for all 4 sides of an element at once. The values are applied in the order top, right, bottom, and left. So the exact same thing. Can anyone tell me what a block level element? Like, what are the characteristics of a block level element? I believe they take up the full width of their container. They stack, is how I always remember it. Block level elements take up the full width available to them by default, stretching across the width of their container. That's it. An inline block behaves like an inline element, where it only takes up as much width as it needs and doesn't start a new line, but it can have width and height set like a block level element. Pretty cool. I like using inline block. But there's also something called inline flex that I'm sure we'll get to later. Good active recall, everyone. Let's just keep moving. CSS. Now I think you're just making up numbers. There's no way GUR just sold. No. Okay, you want to double down? This guy. Six and a 4. That's right. No more plugs from Leo for a little bit. He's gonna have to work that one off. I won't go into our. Jeez. I won't go. Oh man, this is. All right. I won't go into how we settle our bets when he loses because, you know, I don't know. I don't really try to hold my Pokemon to the same standards that I hold myself to, because he likes to claim that Pokemon are better than humans, but at least humans sometimes don't welch on bets every single time they can. So, you might say, why do you keep gambling with them? Because I don't have anyone else to gamble with. And no one will give me as good odds. So, CSS specificity. You're gonna hate me after we're done with this. Inline CSS specificity. Inline CSS has the highest specificity because it is applied directly to the element. It overrides any internal or external CSS. The specificity value for inline styles is 1000. Internal CSS specificity. Internal CSS is defined within a style element in the head section of the HTML document. It has lower specificity than inline styles, but can override external styles. External CSS specificity. External CSS is linked via a link. Okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure I didn't have another copyright music situation. Once again, thank you, Midnight Playtime and Jake Godsil for the music. I'll restart. External CSS specificity. External CSS is linked via a link element in the head section and is written in separate CSS files. It has the lowest specificity but provides the best maintainability for larger projects. Universal selector, just the star. A special type of CSS selector that matches any element in the document. It is often used to apply style to all elements on the page, which can be useful for resetting or normalizing styles across different browsers. The universal selector has the lowest specificity value of any selector. It contributes 0 to all parts of the specificity value. So 0, 0, 0, 0. 0. Wow, Buffett. Type selectors. These selectors target elements based on their tag name. Type selectors have a relatively low specificity compared to other selectors. The specificity value for a type selector is 0001. Class selectors. These selectors are defined by a period, followed by the class name. The specificity value for a class selector is 0010. This means that class selectors can override type selectors, but they can be overridden by ID selectors and inline styles. Starting to see why those zeros and ones kind of matter. Sorry, that probably sounded weird on the feedback. So we don't want Owen. You know, I'll just go Etienne. Why not? You know who's not a bookworm is friggin' Leo here. I don't think he's read a book since... That's what's up. He's never actually read a book, but he's written 12. Take that for what you will. Oh, it is reverse. Almost forgot. Alright, ID selectors. ID selectors are defined by a hash symbol. It's also called pound, hashtag, followed by the ID name. ID selectors have a very high specificity. I would rather hear someone call it tic-tac-toe than hashtag. ID selectors have a very high specificity, higher than type selectors and class selectors, but lower than inline styles. The specificity value for an ID selector is 0100. This makes sense. IDs should be unique and only used once in an HTML document, and so they have a very high specificity. Only outclassed by actual inline styling, which you should almost never use unless it's very specific. Exclamation point important keyword. Oh, look at that. No boat. Oh, he's a heli. Oh wait, I'm not limited. What am I doing? I'll get a balloon trap. How about that? No one's gonna see the balloon trap coming. Exclamation point important keyword. Used to give a style rule the highest priority, allowing it to override any other declarations for a property. When used, it forces the browser to apply the specified style regardless of the specificity of other selectors. You should be cautious when using exclamation point important because it can make your CSS harder to maintain and debug. Cascade algorithm. An algorithm used to decide which CSS rules to apply. When there are multiple styles targeting the same element, it ensures that the most appropriate styles are used based on a set of well-defined rules. CSS inheritance. The process by which styles are passed down from parent elements to their children. Inheritance allows you to define styles at a higher level in the document tree and have them apply to multiple elements without explicitly specifying them for each element. And we're at list links, CSS background borders, but I kind of want to get into the actual meat and potatoes of this thing. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We're about an hour in. And so right, maybe you did notice I was using the universal selector earlier. Aha. Maybe you don't know. I died. Wait. I don't care. I actually don't care. Oh yeah, I didn't upgrade anything. That's fair. Please, 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 please. Please. Please me like I please you. Let's do this thing. So we have some H1s, some all this stuff. We're just gonna get rid of this, right? What do we want our website to be? That's not bad. We can make a we can, for example, make a little Mirror Force website. Mirror Force, the last course. The final course. The 4-course steel. There it is. So, Mirror Force, the 4-course steel. What happens if I run this? Dude, why does it always pop up right here? That's annoying. That's fine. Oh! Mirror Force, the 4-course steel. Look at that. So, again, that's just HTML, but if you feel like following along, you can try to have some fun. Back to this guy. So we're talking about CSS styles. We should probably add a couple more things. Let's have a div of class. Main. No, we'll just go with class section. No. What am I doing? We're gonna give this div an ID. How about that? We're gonna give it an ID of first brag. Why not? So we have a div of first brag, and inside this div also. If I were to run this website and I just have div ID like this stuff, nothing's gonna show up, right? A div is just a generic container. There's not actually anything going on. Dude, I'm digging this midnight playtime. Makes me feel like I'm in a Billy Joel song. Whatever. So, we have our first brag. Let's have a... Well, no, we won't do a line break. Let's just have a paragraph. In our paragraph, we're gonna be talking Leo GameStopium has sold over 1,200 different courses, and this is the one. Oh, what happened? That's so lame. What the heck happened? Hold on. And this... No, dude. Okay. This is really annoying. Like, what are they trying to say? Oh, unknown word. Yeah, you're right. It's an unknown word. God, VS Code sometimes. Leo GameStopium has sold over 1,200 different courses, and this is by far the most promising. Let's have a line break and another line break, and then let's add an unordered list. In this unordered list, oh shit. My only problem with that happening. Oh, wait, okay. Well, we won, I guess. Jeez. See what I mean? Oh, wait, do I have small balloons? I do have small balloons. Let's turn those on. Apocalypse. Let's go with Voidora. Again, hate this. Absolutely hate this. That they have a skin in the game that you can't get with monkey money. It's so lame. 500 super monkey insta monkeys. Oh, 30040. I see. I thought you were saying you get 500 insta monkeys. I was like, maybe I would pay $12 for that. See, that's the kind of... I don't know why microtransactions have to be so lame. Like, why can't it just be like, hey, do you want to give us $1? We'll give you, like, everything you could want and more if you just give us $1. I understand how a business works. But, like, I don't know. So, we're gonna go with Adora, Apocalypse. Oh, big scary, caution, beware. I haven't popped a lip since, there's something there. There's something there. And look, tiny balloons. That's kind of fun. Wait, I did the boat again, didn't I? Anytime there's water, I mean, you don't have to play the same way every time, but anytime there's water, I try to get a boat down. They're pretty easy to set and then kind of go back to this stuff. So we should be good for a second. I'm not worried about getting Voidora down, obviously. But let's actually list some things out. So, we'll give this an ordered list a class of cool list. And so our... Oh, dude, I really wish this wouldn't just pop up all the time. There we go. Class cool list. Notice I'm putting dashes in between because I don't want it to be a class cool and class list. Adora. I'm actually going to put her right here. For the meantime. Wait, why did I... You know what? Screw the boat. No boat. Is this a little cheesy? Ninja Alk, Adora, yes. In fact, I think it's probably like the meta for like up to around 49 on like anything. Also, considering I don't know who's watching this right now, I just want to say thank you for watching. And if you are watching, just know that I am not making this video for you. I'm not even making it for me. I'm mostly making it for Leo because he wants to learn how to program and also he wants to be on camera. And this is just kind of killing two birds with one stone. But thank you for tuning in nonetheless. I'm losing. I'm throwing. Hold on. I'm Boston pilled. I'm point shave maxing. Anyway. Class cool list. The course is only 200 words. Hey, that sounds like a course I could take. It only costs money. and you'll make a lot of money. And last one, you'll scam other people so fast it'll make you think you know double team. And I lost on round 23. Again, this is a really bad spot. What am I doing? But I mean, we're fine now. It's so lame. See, Adora, you do kind of have to use her ability a little bit. I actually think this guy might be able to do some bouncing around. Like that. Alright. Shouldn't have any problems anymore. Now, if we run this, we run it. Oh, look at that. Well, everything's centered. Oh, that looks awful. But you can see we have Leo GameStop. You have sold over 1,200 different courses, and this is by far the most promising. We have our double line break. I know it doesn't look amazing. Whatever. This course is only 200 words. It only costs money. You'll make a lot of money. You'll scam other people so fast, it'll make you think you know double team. Sounds about right. And so now, if we jump back, that should have, oh, there we go. Put a ninja there. You know what? Patrol. He's on patrol. So how do we want to go about styling this? Well, for instance, we have this universal selector that's kind of centering all this stuff and everything. I'm gonna take text align center off, and now we can go back here and take a look. So we have H1 and first brag. Yeah, so our H1 how do we want to style our H1? I don't want to add stuff that you guys don't know. There's already like font size and background color, right? So how do we'd set the width, height, and margin, I guess. With auto, height, auto, I don't know. I am going to set a font size just so you can kind of see. We're going to have it 2 times bigger. Oh! No! How do I have $19,000? Me when I get a stimulus check and wonder why inflation's so high. Next. So we set our font size to double the root font size. My bad. We're gonna set our text align to center. Obviously this like autocomplete stuff helps, but it is very helpful. You cannot only rely on the autocomplete stuff, trust me, because you're not even gonna know what you're looking for. So that's like that. Now, I want to go and style. One second. Whew. I want to style this first brag, right? We have this cool list class, and we have this first brag ID. So if I want to style the ID, I could go, wait, was it first? Yeah, first brag. I could say width 50%, height auto, text align left, and now if we run this, whoops, that always happens because I I ran the wrong thing. It's okay. Cool. It's actually popping up in the right place now. Ah! Look at that. The H1 is double the size. That, and again, I'm sorry for throwing in stuff that you might not know yet. My bad. Unless you do know it, then cool. So Leo, his little thing right there, it can only take up half the container, right? And so it's just gonna be kind of be compressed right there. I don't necessarily love that, but I just want to kind of show you how you can kind of mess around with this stuff. I think there are editors you can use that show the edits in real time. If you go through the freecodecamp.org, they have stuff like that. It's fine doing that. It's also a little distracting, and I think it's a lot of fun to just kind of do stuff and then be like, whoa, that's how it looks now. And then like I can click between these old ones and be like, oh, look how we started, and look where we are now. But so we're back here. I think I want to set this to 75%. I want to text align it to the right, just for fun. And hey, look at that. I think we made some of our monkey money back. So let's... Adore was kind of a lot there. Quincy! You're right, he never misses. That's true. That's very true. I don't think Quincy's missed since... Well, you'll see. Someone, probably just me and Leo, will get the balloons references, but don't feel obligated to need to know them. They're not even funny, if I'm being honest. A sub though, a sunky mob. So we want to target our cool list class right here. How do we go about doing that? Does anyone remember with a class how you would the syntax for a selector if you're trying to style a class? Right, we have our cool list, but I mean there's not an element called cool list, so what do? We just add a little dot. And now we got our selector. That's cool. I want to make the color white. I'm gonna make it display block. I don't even know why it matters. So we're just gonna do this real quick, right? We're gonna go live. Oh, I keep loading the CSS. Keep loading the CSS. That's fair though. Oh shoot, wait, because oh wait, this is actually a perfect example of what just happened. So you'll notice cool list is centered, right? In our other one it wasn't centered. Now it's centered. Please. Okay. Because our first brag container encases our cool list, and it has an ID, right, which has a higher specificity than a class does. Well, that's kind of annoying. How would I go about how would I go about fixing this? Because like everything's kind of aligned to the right now out of the 75% width of its container. Well, so I will jump back here and adjust this text align to right again. How do I'm trying to think of how to show this in a way. So yeah, this cool list is gonna have a color of white. And we're gonna give this unordered list, so instead of styling it by class, maybe we'll just give it an ID to kind of make it a little easier to mess with. Sorry, I'm also distracted by balloons right now. This advanced map is kind of kicking my ass. So maybe we want to go ID cool list, and now we're gonna get rid of this class of cool list. Just dispose of that real quick. And so instead of .cool list, we go hashtag. For those of you born like, you know, whatever. I just said hashtag by accident, so I'm cooked. So we have cool list color white. Let's have a font size of half, just to kind of show, see what's going on. We go live, and look at that, nothing happened. Oh no, what's happening? I can't style it the way I want to. What's happening? No, this sucks. So the unordered list, right? So we have this first brag styler up here. Oh, sorry. We have this first brag thing up here. Let's just take that out. And for our cool list, why don't we I'm just doing everything wrong. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I'm just gonna take off this background color. We're gonna set the H1. Oh wait. Sorry, not the background color, the color. I'm gonna give the heading a color of cyan. I'm gonna give the list a color of white. That's fine. And the list is gonna be text align to the right. And now, if I run this, God, I did it every single time. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! It's like we're actually doing something now. So this is cyan up here, and this is white, and it's text aligned to the right. Well, that's annoying. I kind of wanted it to be. I kind of wanted it to be to the left. That's also fine. Because now, if we align it to the other side, hey, that's starting to look a little more like it. Yeah, I kind of want my P element styled a certain way, you know. I don't like that it's black and it's just kind of, I mean, it looks fine, right? But it's just kind of missing something. And I keep adding these freaking things there. So what's it missing? Well, these P elements, it would be nice if, well, they were text aligned to the center. That'd be nice. It would be nice if they had a color that wasn't black. So maybe we'll give it a color of lime. just to kind of pop out. And then maybe we want to set the width to, what's something silly? 69%, right? And height to auto. What does this entail? So first of all, save, Control S, whatever. Close it, open it up. And now we go back over. Now that's a little more like it. And it, just burning my monkey money. Also, Apache Dart ship can just run this whole thing. I also don't know how long this stream is going to be. Hopefully, right, this is the first time I'm trying to do all this. Hopefully, it'll get better as we go. I'm not going to do all of CSS in this stream because I can't do a 24-hour stream. But so, hopping back. Oh, I also got to watch out over here. No, nothing got added. Cool. So, I do have the text aligned to the center on the paragraph. So I'm trying to understand why it's not text aligned to the center. Well, coolest aligns to the left. Paragraph. Because it did everything else except text align to the center. Am I tripping? What am I missing? I don't care. I don't care. We'll just go display block. Whatever. Nothing happened. I gotta be missing something. H1 to the center, P trying to align. Oh wait, maybe we select all P's that are in divs. And I did it again. No, that didn't do anything either. It's not centering, and I don't know why. So let's figure this one out, right? I'm missing something. There is something that I'm missing. This didn't do anything. I want to text align center, the width, the height, whatever. Display did nothing. Well, that's embarrassing. Because H1 aligns to the center. We're just gonna make this auto. Actually, we're gonna give this P a class of ethos. Why not? So instead of having this, what if we just go hashtag ethos? Pound ethos, tic tac ethos. Oh. We'll see, now that's very interesting. Because I just completely messed up and gave it a class instead of an ID. So it reversed everything. You couldn't see that, but... Hey, look at that. Okay, I actually, I don't know what I did, but it's centered now. That's cool. So, maybe my understanding of specificity is starting to show in that I am not very understanding of it. But our class of ethos seemed to do the trick there. And so we've done all this time. It's been so long and we've accomplished very little. But I'm proud we got this far. Let me hop back to what we were reviewing. So I can try to... Yes, okay. Yes. Let's use a combinator. We can use a combinator. So what do we want to target? So obviously we know how we want to style the unordered list, but how do we target those list elements themselves? I don't know. I could go like ULLI and then just mess with everything. I could use the Oh, yeah. So we could go something like cool list, the direct, right? The direct children of cool list. I'm totally gonna embarrass myself right now when this doesn't work, but it's totally gonna work. So how do we want to style these? Right? We kind of just styled them. So like, what's the point of this? That's a great question. I should probably use a different combinator to illustrate. Okay. Instead of messing with our list elements, dude, we got this. We totally got this. How do we want to make this website cool? Because it's not very cool right now. It's just kind of a scam. It's kind of a scam right now. We haven't even done anything really that interesting. Well, if we go back to here, we might see all this stuff, right? But maybe instead of targeting this ethos like this, right? Maybe I'll cut that. So instead of .ethos, we can go, what was it? Yeah, we can go div plus p and now let's put these in here. So now if we run this, it didn't work. It didn't work. But it's the substitute. Oh, shh. It's next sibling, not. Oh, that's tough. Dude, I'm so all over the place. It's fine. It's fine. This is what it's all about. This is why you should be questioning your teacher. So, I think we just need more HTML elements, and I'm trying to make something out of nothing. So, let's add some more stuff to the site. So we have our first brag up here. We haven't even done anything else. Obviously, plenty of stuff got by Quincy's bow there. Obviously. What can you even do with Sada? Sigh, I need you, man. ABR doing this, dude. I don't even know if this is worth it at this point. But we gotta do something. And it's too easy to just try to make a website right? It'd be way too easy. This is like a decathlon of autism right here. So I gotta obviously we have a div. I'm gonna make a section right here. And this section's gonna have an H2 called famous clients helped. And below that, we're going to have a paragraph of Dave Ramsey has helped over 1 billion people thanks to Leo's course. He owes all that he is and has to Mirror Force. Maybe you could do an unordered list, but I wanted to kind of illustrate some stuff here. Maybe you have another one of I should have. This just looks a little bit cleaner. We could talk about how... Oh, I need Psy. What am I doing? What is the plan? Okay. Mark Cuban fraudulently... Or wait, no. Mark Cuban sold his business during the .com bubble and ripped off everyone and brags about it thanks to the help provided by Mirror Force. Yeah, so this is our section. Famous clients helped. If we were to go live, why does it do that? Okay. Over here. Exit all these. Oh! Famous clients helped. There it is. There it is right there. But we gotta... Oh! Sigh. No! Whatever. Again, I'm just hemorrhaging monkey money for all of you. And myself, obviously. I don't want to redo it. Airburst and we're set. Airburst and we're gone. Dude, you've been so quiet. I don't... Oh, fasting will do that. I gotcha. So how do we want to style this? You know, it's just black and stuff. How do we go about doing this? So we could do something like this, right? We gotta take our we could take our H2. We could set a color for the text to magenta. We could set the font size to 1.3 REM, and then we could align it to the center. Simple as that. Now, what else do we want to do? We had, right, I can see it right now. we need to take our two examples, our paragraphs, and use a combinator to style them. So how would we go about doing that? I mean, it's, yeah. It's very, very simple. We can just use the subsequent sibling combinator to style these. So we could go h2 tilde, not li, p, and now this is going to target our paragraph elements. So I want the font size to be slightly larger, maybe like 1.6 rem. I want the color to be also magenta, and I want to text align it to the right and just keep it simple like that. What's gonna happen if I run this? Did I figure it out? Did I actually do it? Not quite. Did this thing just go to the right place for once? Alright. There's some magenta. It appears I text aligned it to the right instead of the left. I must have been reading too much manga with Leo last night and forgot the order of things. But hey, maybe that's how you like to, maybe that's how you want your website to go. But it's to the right, you know, it looks fine. I'd rather have it be to the left. But what else do we want to do, right? We're having fun, just kind of messing around with this site. It's not really anything. Let's just add a little... right, so we have an ID of cool list, right? What if we wanted to navigate to this cool list? Oh! Wait, all I had... Oh my gosh, how did I get this far? Yeah. Coming up on an hour 42. Again, we haven't done that much. I don't care. But hopefully we're all learning a lot about how much I suck at teaching. So, right, we want to navigate to this cool list. So, like, if I'm, right, let's add some stuff at the, right, actually, I'm going to add a, oh, I see. I'm going to add a double line break. I know this isn't the cleanest code, but I'm trying to get something going. Let's actually add a few line breaks just to, I don't want to, we haven't learned line spacing yet, but just so you can kind of scroll the website, and then we're going to navigate to this ID cool list. So we're going to have a nav, an A element, with an href of, and here's some fun, right? How do you think we want to jump to the ID of cool list? Ready to have your mind blown? Oops. That's it. So take a look at my cool list, right? Our anchor element is going to take us to this when we click on this thing. So we're going to have a nav at the bottom that's going to take us back up. I'm going to style our A element real quick. So we're going to have A, B, color, or wait, no, not color. Font size. We're just gonna make it 0.5 rem, just again, just testing different random things. Inspector, cool. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set the text decoration on this to none. Because the links will usually be underlined, and that lets someone know that there's a link. But on the other hand, maybe I don't want someone to have a line under it. Maybe that's a design choice that I'm gonna make, right? I don't know why you necessarily would. Oh, look down here. I can click on this. That's really hard to read. But if I click on this, it takes me to right here. I should have added more line breaks, but it does take me to right here, as you can see, which is cool. You can navigate, right, to your IDs with the A element. I think, actually, we're just going to do a little more. How I wanted to end stream was go through spot hits, chimps, and just have some fun. Maybe play some of Jake's music and kind of have fun. But we didn't do a whole lot. But you can see how this starts to turn into something. And how we can, as we have covered barely anything on CSS, and I mainly did stuff that you have no idea that that's been covered. And so it was a little hard trying to pigeonhole everything and then also try to show, you know, something to maybe get you excited or kind of get your gears turning about things. I totally get it if you just want to like laugh at me and then go to freecodecamp.org or any, right, there's entire university lectures that you could do instead of this, but it also doesn't have, you know, Leo. It doesn't have 96.9 APU FM. It doesn't have any of these things. So good luck. You're gonna come crawling back just like the rest of them. Just like Leo after he loses a bet, right? He's already ready to go again. I don't know. Have you started a new business in the last 5 minutes? Like how did you already have another ad to plug? Two twos. So next stream, Leo, you'll get a sponsorship. You had 2 at the beginning. I can't subject these people to that anymore. Got it? So we'll I did want to edit one thing on this A element. I wanted to make the color white just so we could see it a bit better. And actually I'll just make this 1.5 so we can actually see it. That was kind of annoying. I get it. So if we jump back over here, hey, look at this. Hey, it's starting to look kind of nice. Obviously, whatever. But take a look at my cool list. Hey, there it is. Take a look at my cool list. Hey, there it is. Again, I'm like autistic about hyperlinks, and I just think stuff like this is so fascinating. And part of the reason why I think video games are so interesting, because it's all about like feedback and literally just a bunch of little dumb stuff like this that adds up. And yeah, so next time, here, I'll just save everything. Next time, we're gonna be going over links, lists, CSS background, and borders. But while I do chimps at the end, I'm gonna I'm not gonna go over computer basics again, right? I'm sure some of you were a little not enthused to go through that, but I am just going to go through this basic CSS Basics as fast as I can while also doing chimps. I'm not going to pay it too much attention during the review, and I'm going to try to focus on chimps. I might try to do some active recall stuff like we try to do, but again, it appears I suck at it, so we'll see how it goes. I will be right back. I have to use the bathroom real quick. But Leo, keep them company. That would have been awkward if I stayed muted. Welcome back from the break. We got some more Jake rolling in here. And I'm going to turn it up a little bit. So we're going to do chimps on spot pits. Don't give me that look. You know we're doing it first try. They kind of nerfed chimps. I'm going to try my best to give you a little rundown on how chimps works. I mentioned before you have all this monkey knowledge. Probably the coolest is like free glue gunner, free monkey, extra $200. Those are like the main things that are awesome, but all these little things add up. But most people, right, when they first get the game, they don't have these things. You have to grind up to like level 100 something to get all the monkey knowledge. Dude, sorry, this straight Godsil guy is pretty good, I can't lie. Made all this himself, that's crazy. So we got to we gotta do spot pits, chimps. So chimps stands for no continues, which it's literally the first C. They nerfed chimps. So you can retry last round. In order to get a black border, you can't, right? So if let's say I'm in the middle of a match, right, I'll restart and stuff. Like, let's say you're in the middle of a match, all this stuff. You're just chilling. It's round 7. Oh no, I'm about to die. I can do this. I can pause and go home. If I do this during a chimps game, where is it? Erosion, perfect. You get a gold border. So I have a chimps medal, but I messed up, I think, on like round 99, right? I messed up on round 99. Don't know how it happened, but I retried, got it, like without changing anything, and I passed it. I haven't tried to redo it, but in order to get a black border, you have to get it the first try, no retries, none of that. And on top of that, no hearts lost, so you have 1 life. No income, so no farms, no Benjamin. I mean, you can use Benjamin's Trojan ability if you want to, but no income. No monkey knowledge is the M. No powers, and no continues, hearts lost, income, monkey knowledge, powers. It's not save scumming. Selling, no selling. So if you place a tower down, you can't sell. It's not too crazy. In fact, you can use Adora's blood sacrifice to get through that in chimps, and so you can sell a tower technically and sacrifice it to Adora to make her more powerful. So who do we want to use for chimps? Quincy's actually one of the better, even though he's like the base hero, he's one of the better chimps heroes, since you can start with him right away, and heroes gain XP and stuff through pops and all that stuff. But I think what we're gonna go with, I can't go, I mean I could. I mean, this is a beginner map. I'm just gonna go Brickle, the Dread Pirate Brickle. You could go Lifeguard. I think Dread Pirate's a little more metal, so we're gonna go with that. And actually, right before I do that, I notice I have these Christmas hats on still on my balloons. A Magpie DDT, what? That's fun. We got beards. Oh wait, no. We have vampire capes and Santa hats. Leo, which of these do you like? Sunglasses? Okay. It's summertime. Summertime. Let's just sit back and unwind. Yes. So here we go. So since we're going to be using Brickle, oh, wait, they still have, oh, I'm going to have to restart. Wait. Why don't they? No. Now I'm confused. This is just going perfectly with how the stream is going, honestly. The long hair blues again. We already heard this one. I think. Excuse me if we didn't. I love long hair blues. I would listen to it again if I could. So let's see if our balloons have sunglasses at least. Yeah, they got sunglasses. Now they are tiny balloons. I just like them. I like them small. I like them tiny. What can I say? I'm a tiny guy. Just kind of the end of the stream, kind of chill out. No more mirror force, no more grr. Although I do want to mention, if you're thinking, all right, if you're thinking about hair loss medication, consider not. Yeah, like, as much as I want to make fun of people that get hair transplants, like, sterilizing yourself for a full head of hair is asinine, ASA 12, ASA 11, ASA 13, all that shit. But again, that's just my opinion. Vanity is as important as you want it to be. That's why Leo came up with the business model, right? He's like, well, we know people want to keep their hair, and then we also know that they're gonna kill their dick no matter what. So what if we just sold both? And I mean, look at us now. We're not even making money on this channel, and we're already retired, baby. So CHIMPS really isn't that difficult on these easier maps. It is a true test of your skills as a gamer and a planner and all these things to do CHIMPS on probably anything expert and higher, like advanced. Yes, advanced is, some advanced maps are harder than some expert maps. Like for instance, erosion, I'm still kind of struggling with, but it's expected. So how am I gonna pop this camo? Is there anything I want to do? I think I want a necromancer. So if that's the case, I'm gonna put him right here. Because necromancer can reanimate the balloons and fight for us. It's also a really good backstop. It's almost like having a spike factory with a limited supply. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Trying to think of something fun. Oh right, I made my GTA 6 boycott video, which was very sad because as I realized, oh, if I want to boycott Take-Two Interactive, I should probably also not, you know, help Electronic Arts out either. And I was really excited for College Football 25. I can't lie. College Football 25 I was so excited for, and I've played pretty much since it came out. But now it's kind of done. Like I kind of have to be done with it, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be sad. Like I'm happy to do this. I'm not happy to not be able to play college football with my brother, but I am happy to not have to deal with Electronic Arts anymore. You know, there will be videos of people being like, this is what $1,000 gets you in college football, or Madden, or FIFA packs, or whatever, right? It's never as much as it probably should be worth. It's like as much as real booster packs for like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. It makes Magic, like it makes no goddamn sense. Also, my mic might be topping out a little bit, and I apologize for that. Thank you for getting this far, if it's been topping out this whole time. I was just trying to make sure I was loud enough, because in my previous videos I was very quiet. There also may be a delay between the music and me. I don't know what to do about it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, first Moab down, nothing. You can see Ron Wees over here just absolutely takes care of business. If anything gets to this back half, they're cooked. They're done. They're done-donzo. You bet. I don't think I've used glue or ice too much. Chimps is really nice for glue and ice, so I should probably get that going.
There's such a strange conniption weaving through my head, but you'll deliver the words I need to hear for me in flaming red.
Oh yeah, here I can show you. Cheers, buddy. We got a little Bloons coffee mug. Yeah, that's just how I roll. Oh, of course, Leo. Back to the game. Again, 96.9 APU FM, the Looney Bin, is brought to you by me. Self-plug. Schizofacto YouTube channel. Subscribe. Actually, don't subscribe. You probably can't handle my theories. And honestly, none of my friends have said anything besides that they're gonna buy GTA 6. So, you know, have fun being part of the problem. I don't judge, I'm just saying. We all vote with our dollar. These are also the same people who voted for Trump or Kamala. Again, I don't judge, I'm just saying, if you're gonna fall in line with everything, don't be surprised when I call you out for appealing to authority and all that other shit, right? Yeah, I acknowledge that I'm fairly judgmental about certain things. I try not to be. I honestly feel like people who are judgmental judge themselves mentally too much, and that's where it stems from. For instance, I'm a perfectionist, and so when I'm judgmental of others, it's more so me projecting the standards that I hold myself to onto other people, and I'm just like, why don't you hold yourself to these unrealistic standards that, right, aren't really not feasible, but Likely. Whatever. This song's so good. Carrier flagship. Well, in fact, we got plenty of carrier flagships in the United States. They're all nuclear, by the way. So anytime someone tells you nuclear isn't safe, just know our aircraft carriers are literally nuclear. 3 Mile Island in Chernobyl was scary, but like, have you seen Mexico City? That's also pretty scary. I don't want to get political. I'm just like, nuclear is cool. I wish it was, I wish it was safer. I wish it was the safest way that we could get energy. Oh wait, it is. Oops. Didn't mean to ruffle any feathers there. Sorry, this is gonna run for a second. I will be right back. I also realized I probably could have just cut a few decibels off my mic, and that probably would have helped with topping out stuff. So I guess we'll just see. Oh yeah, maybe some active recall stuff. Here's one for you. How would you reference a link in an anchor element? Right? Which attribute would you use to set your link, to assign your link to? Remember, images use SRC. Citations, as we learned, can use cite. That's what we started with. We're going to cell. I love cell. Especially when Goku makes Gohan have to... Just one of the stupidest, absolute stupidest... Like... I don't think enough people know about Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, our necromancer's cooking now. Now he's even got Moabs. Like, there's ain't no stopping us now. So, Leo, how should we go about the DDTs? They're 12 rounds away. We can't use Mirror Force on them. No, not everything is one of your business ideas, bro. We gotta... I do like the Bez. That's not gonna slow him down. So we got Elmer over here. So one really interesting thing about chimps, right? This is on a beginner map, so it probably doesn't look that hard. You're very limited with your money. And so you need to, it's best practice to save up money for your big T5 upgrades. You obviously don't have to. There's a way, I'm sure you can beat chimps with just T3 towers everywhere, especially on a map like this. It's very hard for me to not sing along because I know there's probably a delay. But yeah, Jake, thanks for bringing the vibes up in here. Not that Midnight Playtime is bringing them down or anything. It's just no one makes music like this these days, you know? Besides what, the Rolling Stones on album like 74. Super glue would probably do the trick, but also I feel like we don't have a ton of damage. Everything's kind of preventative and slowing things down. What would be becoming of this, of our CSS HTML integration? I think, yeah, no, we got Brickle. At least get a first strike. If we can get preemptive strike, it's over. Preemptive strike. If you've never saved up enough in a CHIMPS game to get preemptive strike, it is a lifesaver. Especially if you have like Brickle and like a submarine sub-commander. Can go absolutely insano style. It is funny how the Necromancer balloons are big and then all the other ones are small. Like, they're absolutely mogging them. Dope. And now I should be able to get this sub-commander. I think. I forget the total amount of dollars we get here, but it's you know. Oh yeah, wait. I'm not the first guy to sit in front of a camera with sunglasses and a headband and shit, but also I was doing it before like people were freaking. Oh man, dude, I can actually see the screen now. This is crazy. How the hell did I do this for 2 hours in the dark? And that's just my secret. I can't even see my keyboard when I'm typing. This is very clear though. But the problem is that at 96.9 we're all about giving you guys a good show. Even if we don't necessarily show you... Oh, round 100. Here it is for all the Mabels. Wait, where's the BAD? Oh, there it is. Oh! Boop. Didn't want to clap directly in the mic, my bad. Hey, we did it! 1 million pops from our guy. And if we go here, oh, that black border looks nasty. All right. That just about does it for the stream for today. It was a little bit on a whim. I was gonna try to do it tonight, but I felt like doing it early. We did not get that much done. We got through computer basics and CSS basics and made our little Mirror Force, the 4-core steel website. But I think we all learned something, whether how not to do things or how to do them. Kind of irrelevant. We're all having fun, right? So that just about does it. Special thanks to Midnight Playtime and Jake Godsil for letting us use their music on this stream. Absolutely I don't want to be crass. Thank you guys so much. And then also big shout out to freecodecamp.org. I, again, would recommend going there and trying some of this out for yourself, or follow along with some of my videos if you're already pretty experienced. Maybe you like balloons. Hey, if you just like balloons, maybe you'll just learn something. But till we meet again, stay learning, stay curious, and yeah. We did it. No more ads.